Good afternoon. My name's Olivia. I'm known as Olivia K on Facebook, Ollie K on Instagram, and Warmium 9800 on Reddit. So I cover nursing related materials, including material to help you with the NCLEX. So I cover like things that will help the NCLEX, PN, and RN. I also have a playlist of teas. I know they're old videos, but I feel like they can still be helpful because the concept of math, science, and English, it never changes, right? So you can also get like teas related books or join like NCLEX, well, not NCLEX, like teas Facebook groups for extra help, and that way it can help you. I also go over documentaries, like the next video I'm going to actually do will be the greatest night of pop music or something like that. So I'm going to go over that as well. I just went over the Crash documentary as well too. So if you're interested, you can watch that. I also go over reality TV shows. I have a whole Love is Blind playlist of my reactions, and then I am vying to cover the ultimatums, the Married or Move On, and the lesbian ones, because those shows were really good, and I'm looking forward to the next season when that ever comes around. So waiting for that as well. And that's about it. So I also go over opinion pieces and topics. I know I'm talking so much, I'm sorry. Opinion pieces that could be helpful. So you can check that out as well. But for today, my nursing topic of the week is going to be transfusions. So this lecture is mostly for RNs because RNs are the ones that are scoped to work with blood products, not LPNs, not CNAs, RNs. But if LPNs are welcome to learn about it, they're feel free. It's not exclusively for RNs. I mean, this lecture will be mostly helpful for RNs, but it's not exclusive. So hopefully that makes sense. So I know NCLEX will definitely probably ask about that, and you will find in your Q bank, such as the NCLEX tutor world, something like that. I don't remember the Q banks off the top head, but you'll find them there. I know ATI does that quite a bit. So well, let's get into it so that way you understand. So let's get into it. This is mostly for RNs. As I just said, it is important for you to be familiar with blood transfusion complications. Why is that? Because if something goes wrong, it's a lawsuit, and this can lead to death and more harm. So RNs are, as I mentioned in my last lecture I did with the shock, RNs are legally required at the bedside to verify the patient and the blood product compatibility. And this is prior to transfusions. And the reason I bring this up because UWorld, there you go. That's what I was thinking about UWorld. So silly. I had UWorld, and UWorld's really good. I swear by it, but any cubings I think would do. It was saying that there's a CNA and an RN verifying, and I'm just like, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. You can't, because it's supposed to be two RNs that are supposed to verify it, not CNA, because that's out of their scope. And I was like dumbfounded because I kept getting in my practice questions, and I understand why they're doing it, because they want to make sure you know that it's two RNs to verify it. It can't be anyone other than that. So it's just crazy that that could happen, you know what I mean? So it's good that I say it, and that way we understand, because RNs are supposed to work with blood products, and it is within their scope, right? So complications, they lead to an emergency, and if it's not treated immediately, it's going to lead to death. So it's very, very important to understand the shock-related transfusion complications, okay? So I'm going to go over a few here. So we have febrile non-hemolytic reaction. So this is the most common ones you most likely will see. And it's because there's a sensitivity to the donor cell. So which is why it's so important for the RNs to cross-match the compatibility to make sure that these doesn't want to happen to them. So the symptoms that can occur would be fever, chill, and headache. And P.S. This is all like star and underline, but I'm going to tell you to highlight the most important things you need to understand. So with this one, I need you to highlight this part. You need to stop the transfusion immediately, and you're going to notify the provider, and you're going to give acetaminophen. As you know, it's an antipyretic, so you're going to give it to the patient. Okay, that's that. Now, this one is the most dangerous one, so please pay attention to this part, okay? Acute hemolytic reaction is the most dangerous one, so pay attention to this part. It's the ABO incompatibility. And the symptoms you're going to see, because there's a difference between the two, the febrile and the acute, and plus it's hemolytic. Fever. Now you're going to see dark urine in this one. Chills, low back pain, and tachycardia. You need to stop the transfusion immediately, just like the previous one. Now this time, you're going to have to establish a new line of normal saline, and you have to notify the provider and return the blood back to the blood bank. So I'm going to repeat this again. You have to stop the transfusion. You're going to establish a new line of the normal saline, because while you're trying to get whatever is in there out and whatnot, and then you need to notify the provider immediately, because this can lead to death. All these can lead to something worse, but this can definitely lead to death, and it's very dangerous. So just wanted to put a big star on this piece. Then you have your allergic reaction, which is mild. It's a mild sensitivity to the donor cell. So you will see hives, itching, and rash. So you want to stop the transfusion and administer antihistamine IV. All right. Then we have another very dangerous one, and I know we talked about this with the shock too, anaphylaxis reaction. This isn't any anaphylaxis shock, although this will lead to the shock if this isn't acted in a timely basis. So you want to act quick with this one. So now this person has a severe allergic reaction. So the symptoms, just like anaphylactic shock, wheezing. So, and anytime you see that there's a potential airway compromise, shortness of breath, hypotension, airway swelling. Now that's the clue for you to stop this right now, immediately. And remember the treatment I said for anaphylaxis, epinephrine. That's always your first line of treatment, because the goal is to open up the airway. You need O2 support, and they need to go to the emergency room immediately. No questions asked. Do not delay treatment. You should never delay treatment with this kind of emergency anyways. And same, even if it's not, even you don't have the anaphylaxis treatment, like what I was just saying, the febrile and the febrile non-hemolytic and the acute hemolytic, like don't delay treatment on any of these. So the next I'm going to talk about my favorite one, TACO. Okay, but circulatory reaction, TACO. So this one isn't as dangerous, but it's still good to act quickly, like I said. So the fluid's going too fast, right? And you can normally see this with patients that are elderly, people with kidney compromise, or even heart failure patients. So the symptoms are going to be like heart failure, right? So you have the crackles, the jugular vein distension. So same thing you'll see again with the heart failure patients. Then hypertension, dyspnea. So what you want to do is either you can stop it depending on the severity, or you can slow it down, and then you could give diuretics in O2. So again, same thing like you would see with heart failure patients. Okay. Now another very, very dangerous one. We talked about sepsis shock the last time, but this will definitely lead into sepsis shock if this is not done in a timely basis either. So this is a septic reaction, contaminated blood products, so you can probably have bacteria there, and which is why normally they will want the blood to be at a particular temperature, because You can have bacteria grow and fester, and this could happen. So the symptoms is high fever, chills, and septic shock. So you want to stop the treatment now. Antibiotics, IV, and vasopressor. Because remember what I said about shock. Most of them will need vasopressors because it's going to improve rather the blood pressure. Okay, because you will normally see hypotension, the body's trying to compensate. So that's what we have for the blood transfusions. So hopefully that helps you. I'm going to leave the link to more additional help, like for instance, Simple Nursing. He's really amazing. So you'll see the link below. And then also you want to reach out for more nursing related topics like nursing help, which I haven't been able to go over people's CPR reports in a while because I'm so busy and I'm not getting as much messages. It's been a while, but it is what it is. I'm not offended. But you can also leave me a message on Facebook, Instagram, and Reddit. I'm right there. You need additional help. But anyways, that should be it. And the next treatment, the next nursing material I'm probably going to cover would be the hypo and hyperparathyroidism. I'll go over those next week, and that should be it. This should be available, and this should be up and running on Monday afternoon. So anyways, take it easy and have a good rest of your day. Take care. Bye.